Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. In 2004, a book, Brooklyn Noir, launched a series of original noir anthologies, and now the series returns with Oakland Noir. I love saying that word. Editors Jerry Thompson and Eddie Muller are here to share exactly what this book is all about. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
It is our pleasure.
Okay, first, let's just define noir. Let's get that
Why
out.
did I know that was going to be question number one?
Yes.
For our purposes, for literary fiction, we're going to say these are stories guaranteed to go to a dark place.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
So something bad is going to happen.
Generally, something bad is going to happen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me about this series, Oakland. How did this all come about?
Well, as a bookseller for many years in the Bay Area, I would leap at the chance to find new writers. And so books would come into the store, and the series is very popular. So in the front of the book, there's all these other cities that had noir. And I said, where's Oakland? So I said, we want to do Oakland. So I sent an email to the publisher asking how this would happen. And for 2.5 years, we had this baby in us. So it just manifested into the book by asking the question, what steps one needs to take to make this happen?
Okay. What kind of stories are we talking about here?
Well, they're generally, noir stories are about people that get into desperate situations. And so you're not going to read these to find a happy ending.
No happy endings.
If you want let's just be honest, right? We want truth in advertising. If you want uplift, you're going to want to buy something else in the store, right?
Yeah, sure.
But if you want to learn about what people actually go through in living difficult lives in our contemporary society, I think this book in a very entertaining way gives a very accurate depiction of the demographics and the hardships and the situations that people get into. And we tried to make it, I mean, this is something that Jerry really, it was really his baby, honestly.
Wow.
And something that he really strived to maintain was an accurate depiction of Oakland, the demographics of Oakland. So I've participated in other books in this series, and I can tell you that they don't all accurately reflect the city that they're talking about. You know, I mean, there's a book set in Ireland where most of the writers were Americans, and I was like, what's up with that? That doesn't really make any sense.
Right.
But this was a book where the writers are living in Oakland, and they're writing about the Oakland that they know.
They know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And I sort of handpicked each author. I went through my phone book, and many of the authors I've hosted in the past in different bookstores, and just called them up and asked them to create a new story about the area in Oakland that they loved. And they set these stories in these neighborhoods. So the idea was that Eddie and I would be in this car driving through Esther's Orbit Room, down Wood Street, cut over to San Pablo, shoot over to Lake Merritt, and each location is a story. So my idea is that we would ride these stories in one night. We end up in Alameda, at Eddie's house. No.
It's not actually Oakland, I understand, but
But they're connected somehow, and in a very delicious way. So that's how the stories ran through the collection as a drive through town, and then eventually we end up at night. Some crimes are created.
Crimes are going to happen.
Yeah, crimes are going to happen. Not by you, but...
But one thing I do want to point out is that a lot of people, when they hear noir, they automatically think crime. And there were people who contacted me and said, oh, I want to be in the collection. And they were writing basically a generic crime story that happened to be set in Oakland. And it was like, I'm not interested in that. I want stories about people who are actually living their lives in Oakland. They may be touched by crime. They may realize that they're capable of something they never realized they were capable of before because of the stress that they're under, whatever economic hardship it may be. So I was really happy with the collection we ended up with because they're stories about real people. They're not just crime plots, they're real people.
In other series, you talked about other locations like Ireland and Brooklyn. What makes Oakland stand out from all of this?
Well, the diversity is one thing. You have everyone who lives in Oakland come from different places, but they found their voices in Oakland. So the diversity is the key for us, I think.
And when you started out by saying Brooklyn Noir, this is the perfect bookend to that because, of course, Brooklyn is the kid sister to Manhattan. very much the way Oakland is to San Francisco. So it's about time, as Jerry said, it's about time that Oakland had its own book, because, you know, I'm from San Francisco. I was born in San Francisco, but I have lived in the East Bay now for almost half of my life, and I'm uniquely qualified to compare the two cities, you know.
You are.
And I'm happy to be in Oakland.
Well, I'm happy that you came on the show to tell us all about this, and I can't wait to read the book.
We'll get to it.
Oh, we're going to get to it. I promised you, so
Right.
I
And
need
you
to
have
do
to
it
let us
now.
know what you think.
Okay,
when
I
you
will.
get to the
Thank
end,
you.
let us know what you think.
Okay, I will, definitely. Am I going to cry?
I hope so.
A little
And
bit.
laugh a
All
little
right. I think I might. For more information on Oakland Noir, just log on to Akashic. Is that how you say it? AkashicBook.com/catalog/Oakland Noir. Joining us next is a unique poetry event that draws on inspiration from New Orleans and Paris. We'll be right back.